I want to ask you something honest. How many times has you told yourself you are going to be consistent with content this month? And how many times has that fallen apart by week 2? Here is what nobody in this space wants to admit. Consistency is not a discipline problem, it is a planning problem. The people who show up every week without fail are not more motivated than you. They are more prepared than you. There is a difference. I have a client, high network executive, runs multiple businesses. He cannot record a video every week. He cannot sit down and think about what to post. He does not have that kind of bandwidth. And yet, for the next 3 months, his content is going out consistently on schedule without him being involved in the day-to-day. That is not magic. That is a system. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I do it. If a founder, a consultant, a coach, or a thought leader who wants to build a personal brand online and cannot figure out how to manage that alongside everything else you are doing, this video was made specifically for you. Before you plan a single piece of content, you need to answer one question honestly. Where are you right now in the growth of your personal brand? Because the answer to that question completely changes how you approach planning 3 months of content. There are 3 stages, and most people are either planning as if they are in a stage they have not reached yet, or they do not know which stage they are in at all. Stage 1, you are just starting out. You have little or no data. The algorithm does not know you yet. Maybe you have posted a few things, but nothing consistent. Nothing has given you real feedback yet. At that stage, planning 3 months of content is not about growth. It is about testing. You are figuring out your style, your format, your voice. You are getting comfortable with the process of creating. And here's the thing most people miss about this stage. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Every piece of content is an experiment. Every experiment gives you data you did not have before. This is actually the most freeing stage of the entire process. Stage 2. You have been posting for a while. Some content have done well. You have a loose sense of what your audience responds to and what format works for you. Bulk content planning at this stage is no longer about testing, it is about validation. You are doubling down on what has shown early signs of working. You are not reinventing anything, you are refining. Stage 3, you know what works. You have conversion records. You have consistent engagement. Your brand has real awareness in your space. At this stage, content planning should be close to automatic. If you're in stage 3 and still struggling with what to post, the problem is not ideas, it is operations. Know your stage, plan accordingly. A stage 1 person who plans like they are in stage 3 will waste 3 months producing the wrong content with the wrong expectations. The next step is to choose your platform. And I'm going to say something here that goes against almost everything you have seen about building a personal brand online. Stop trying to be everywhere. Gary Vee is everywhere. Omozi is everywhere. Tony Robbins is everywhere. But they are not building from scratch. They have teams, systems, and years of established presence behind every post you see. If you are still growing, trying to build across multiple platforms simultaneously is one of the fastest ways to burn out and grow on none of them. Every platform is its own ecosystem. LinkedIn rewards long-term rating insights and professional commentary. YouTube rewards consistent video and strong viewer retention. Instagram rewards visual storytelling and short-form video with very specific formatting rules. These are not the same skills, they are not the same algorithms, they are not the same audiences. Here is a specific example. You often hear the advice to create a long-form YouTube video and cut shots from it to post on Instagram Reels. It sounds efficient, but Instagram Reels has its own formatting standards, its own pacing, its own culture. A YouTube short cut from a long video will occasionally hit those standards. Most of the time, it will fall short. You'll be posting on Instagram, getting frustrated, wondering why it is not working, while your YouTube channel also suffers because your attention is split. Choose one platform, give it everything, conquer it, then use that established audience to seed your presence on the next one. You can post on multiple platforms for visibility, but grow on one. There is a meaningful difference between posting and growing. Do not confuse them. This is a step that makes planning 3 months of content actually possible. And almost nobody approaches it this way. Stop thinking in topics, start thinking in themes. Here's the difference. A topic is a single idea, a theme is a territory. And when you plan content around territories rather than individual ideas, you never run out of things to say. Your content builds on itself, and your audience can follow a clear through line instead of jumping between disconnected posts. Let me show you what this actually looks like practically. Say you're a personal finance expert building a brand to attract high net worth clients. The typical approach is to list topics: how to save money, best credit cards, how to budget, how to file taxes. These are fine individually, but they are disconnected. You burn through them fast and then you are back at square one trying to figure out what to post next month. Now think in themes instead. Take just one theme: savings. Under savings alone, you can build an entire content cluster. What saving actually is and why most people misunderstand it. The psychology behind why people fail to save even when they earn well. How to automate your savings so it requires zero discipline. The best saving structures specifically for high earners. A breakdown of the top savings platforms and which types of earners they suit. And a real client case study showing how someone went from saving nothing to saving 30% of their income in 6 months. That is 6 pieces of content from one thing. On YouTube, that is 6 weeks of videos. On LinkedIn, that is 2 weeks of posts at 3 per week from one territory. Now imagine you have 6 themes built out the same way: savings, budgeting, investing, debt management, wealth building, tax strategy. That is 36 pieces of content, 1 video per week on YouTube, and you have 9 months covered. 3 posts per week on LinkedIn, and you have 3 months covered from a single theme. And here is the audience benefits that most people completely overlook. When your content follows a theme, viewers and readers move from one piece to the next naturally, the way they would move through a structured course. That is how you build retention and authority at the same time. They are not just watching one video, they are following a journey. You have your themes. The next step is to put them into a schedule, because a list of themes without a schedule is just a wish list. A content schedule is a simple map that tells you exactly what is going out, on which platform and on which day. It removes the daily decision of what to post. That decision has already been made. All you need to do is execute. Here is what 1 month of a YouTube content schedule looks like using the savings theme. Week 1, what saving actually is and why most people have it wrong. Week 2, the psychology behind why people fail to save even when they earn well. Week 3, how to automate your savings so it requires zero discipline. Week 4, a real client case study from 0 savings to 30% in 6 months. 4 videos, 1 theme, 1 month, fully mapped before you record a single thing. For LinkedIn, the same thing from 1 week looks like this. Monday, you open with a data angle, a study on the savings habit of high earners versus average earners and what the numbers actually show. Wednesday, you go personal, your own experience with savings across different income levels and what changed each time. Friday, you go direct and educational, what saving actually is, because most people have the definition wrong and it is costing them. 3 posts 1 week, 1 thing. Each post comes from a different angle, so the audience never feels like you are repeating yourself, but every post reinforces the same territory and builds your authority on it. The schedule is what makes the system real. Without it, you have ideas. With it, you have a plan. There's a mistake I see constantly. Someone builds a full 3-month content plan, produces everything, posts consistently, and gets nothing back because nobody was searching for it. The most successful personal brands are not just consistent, they are relevant. And relevance means you are solving problems that a large enough number of people actually have. Before you produce a single video or write a single article, you need to validate that the topic is worth your time. 2 things make a topic worth pursuing. First, a sizable number of people have that problem. Second, the space is not so saturated that a new voice has no chance of being heard. Both of these things can be measured. That is what validation tools are for. Do not type your content idea into ChatGPT and ask it to generate 100 variations. You will get a list of things that sound good and mean nothing in terms of actual demand. AI does not know what people are actively searching for right now. Keyword and search data tools do. For YouTube, use TubeBuddy if your budget is limited. The better option is vidIQ. Both give you search volume, competition data, and related keyword suggestions that tell you whether a topic has real demand before you spend time on it. For LinkedIn and Blood, use SEMrush if your budget allows. If not, Answer the Public is a strong alternative. It shows you the actual questions people are typing into search engines around any topic you are considering. Validate before you produce every time, no exceptions. If a consultant, a founder, or thought leader who is ready to build your personal brand properly, my agency offers a brand launch kit. For $1,000, we do a full brand audit, build your brand strategy document, and design your complete visual identity and deliver a one-page website that positions you clearly from day one. The link is in the description. If you are serious about launching, this is the place to start. At this point, you know stage. You have chosen your platform, you have your themes, your schedule is mapped, and every topic has been validated. Now to produce. And what you produce matters as much as what you produce. Bad production means you block out 2 or 3 days and you record or you create multiple pieces of content in one session. For YouTube, that means shooting 6 to 12 videos back to back. All that is left after that is editing and scheduling. For LinkedIn, it means writing 3 months of articles in one sitting while you're already in the writing mindset. The psychological advantage here is real. When you sit down to record one video, you spend the first 30 minutes just getting into the zone. When you batch, you pay that warm-up cost once, and then everything that follows benefits from the flow you have already built. The quality of your 4th video in a batch session is almost always better than if you had recorded it on a separate day. Now, I said earlier not to try growing on multiple platforms at the same time. I still stand on that, but I said nothing about posting on multiple platforms. There is a way to manage both. Repurpose, do not recreate. Take your core long-form content and adapt it for other platforms. A YouTube video becomes a LinkedIn article. A LinkedIn article becomes a carousel. A carousel becomes 3 short posts. The core idea is the same. The format fits the platform. You are not starting from scratch for every channel. You are extending the reach of one strong idea across multiple surfaces. Create for depth on your primary platform, then repurpose for each on the others. That is the sequence. The final step is the one most people skip, and it is the reason why their second 3 months is no better than their first. You have to measure performance, not to grade yourself, but to learn. There are 4 categories of metrics worth tracking. Awareness metric tells you how far your content is reaching: impressions, reach, video views, website traffic. Engagement metric tells you whether people are actually connecting with what you're saying: likes, comments, shares, saves. Lead generation metric tells you whether the content is converting into real interest: email signups, form submissions, downloads. And revenue metrics tells you whether that interest is turning into money: conversions, sales, qualified leads. Review this weekly and monthly, and at the end of every 3-month cycle, ask yourself 4 questions. Which topics performed best? Which formats drove the most engagement? Which platform gave the strongest results? Which gets repeated in the next cycle? The answer to those 4 questions are your brief for the next 3 months. You are not starting from scratch. You are building on evidence. That is how personal brands compound over time instead of plateauing after the first few months. That is the full system. Know your stage. Choose one platform. Build theme territories, not topic lists. Schedule everything before you produce a single thing. Validate every topic. Batch produce, measure, and repeat. The goal is not to post more. The goal is to post smart, stay consistent, and let the compound effect do the work. Most personal brands fail in the first 3 months, not because the content is bad, but because the system behind it collapsed. Now you have the system. I document everything here: building the agency, the strategies I use for clients, what is working and what is not. No polished version, the real thing.